The evidence that shocked investigators to their core lay hidden in plain sight, tucked away in one of the most prestigious addresses in America. When federal agents executed their search warrant at the sprawling estate, they expected to find the usual trappings of wealth and privilege. Instead, what they discovered in that private bedroom would send shockwaves through both sides of the Atlantic and threaten to destroy relationships that have endured for generations. The cousin of Prince William and Harry, living a life of apparent luxury and respectability, had been harboring secrets that could unravel decades of carefully constructed public images. But what connection could possibly link British royalty to an FBI investigation that has captivated the world? The truth behind those closed doors reveals a web of relationships and activities that nobody saw coming, and the implications stretch far beyond a single bedroom to touch the very foundations of international high society. The British royal family's extended network includes numerous cousins, distant relatives, and connected individuals who maintain various degrees of relationship to Prince William and Prince Harry. These connections often span multiple generations and include both paternal and maternal family lines, creating a complex web of relationships that extends across the Atlantic to include American connections. Many members of the extended royal family have chosen to live relatively private lives outside the direct spotlight of monarchy, pursuing careers in business, philanthropy, and various professional endeavors. Some have relocated to the United States, where they maintain connections to both British aristocracy and American high society circles. The younger generation of royal-connected individuals has grown up in an era of increased media scrutiny and social media attention, creating unique challenges for maintaining privacy while navigating both traditional expectations and modern opportunities for independence and personal expression. Questions arise about how connections to British royalty might affect individuals who become subjects of American law enforcement investigations, and whether such relationships create additional complications for both legal proceedings and international diplomatic considerations. The intersection of British aristocracy with American social and business circles has historically created networks that span multiple countries and industries, making it possible for individuals to maintain significant influence and connections across different spheres of society. American law enforcement agencies have extensive experience investigating individuals with international connections and complex financial arrangements that may involve multiple jurisdictions and sophisticated privacy structures designed to protect high-profile individuals from public scrutiny. The FBI's approach to investigating members of international high society requires careful coordination with various agencies and consideration of diplomatic protocols, particularly when investigations involve individuals with connections to foreign government officials or royal families. Federal search warrants for luxury properties often reveal elaborate security systems, private spaces designed for confidentiality, and evidence storage methods that reflect the sophisticated privacy needs of wealthy and influential individuals. Legal experts note that searches of high-profile properties typically yield extensive documentation, electronic devices, and personal materials that can provide insights into relationships, activities, and financial arrangements that might not be apparent from public information. The process of executing search warrants at properties owned by individuals with royal connections involves additional security considerations and protocols designed to ensure that sensitive materials are handled appropriately while maintaining the integrity of criminal investigations. Questions arise about what types of evidence might be discovered in private bedrooms of individuals connected to international royalty, and how such discoveries might affect both ongoing investigations and broader diplomatic relationships between countries. The lifestyle and social connections typical of individuals with royal family ties often include extensive travel, international business relationships, and access to exclusive social circles that can create complex networks of personal and professional relationships. Modern criminal investigations increasingly focus on digital evidence, communication records, and financial documentation that can be stored in private spaces and personal devices found throughout luxury properties and personal residences. The royal family's approach to managing relationships with extended family members who become subjects of criminal investigations involves careful balance between family loyalty and institutional reputation management, particularly when legal issues might affect public perception of the monarchy. International media coverage of criminal investigations involving individuals with royal connections creates additional pressures and complications for both law enforcement agencies and the individuals involved, as public interest often exceeds normal levels of attention for similar cases. The diplomatic implications of American criminal investigations involving individuals connected to British royalty require coordination between multiple government agencies and careful consideration of how legal proceedings might affect broader international relationships and protocol. Private correspondence and personal documents found during searches of properties owned by royally connected individuals often provide insights into the social dynamics and relationship networks that define international high society and aristocratic circles. The security measures and privacy protections typically employed by individuals with royal connections can include sophisticated systems designed to protect sensitive information and maintain confidentiality of personal and business relationships. Federal investigations involving international figures often require extensive coordination with foreign law enforcement agencies and consideration of extradition treaties, diplomatic immunity claims, and other legal complexities that can affect the progress and outcomes of criminal cases. The social media presence and public activities of royal-connected individuals are increasingly subject to scrutiny during criminal investigations, as digital footprints can provide evidence of relationships, activities, and communications that might be relevant to ongoing cases. Questions arise about how criminal investigations involving royal-connected individuals might affect the broader network of relationships and social connections that define international aristocratic and high society circles. The financial arrangements and business relationships typical of individuals with royal connections often involve complex international structures designed to provide privacy and tax efficiency, which can become subjects of investigation when criminal activity is suspected. Law enforcement agencies have developed specialized expertise in investigating international financial crimes and sophisticated money laundering schemes that may involve multiple countries, currencies, and regulatory jurisdictions. The impact of criminal investigations on royal-connected individuals extends beyond legal consequences to include reputational damage, social ostracism, and potential effects on family relationships and institutional affiliations. Historical precedents involving members of extended royal families who have faced criminal investigations provide context for understanding how such cases are typically handled and what outcomes might be expected for both the individuals involved and their royal connections. The role of legal representation and public relations management becomes particularly crucial for royal-connected individuals facing criminal investigations, as the intersection of legal and reputational concerns requires specialized expertise and careful strategic planning. International cooperation between law enforcement agencies investigating crimes involving royal-connected individuals often involves sharing of evidence, coordination of search warrants, and collaboration on complex financial investigations that span multiple jurisdictions. The privacy expectations and legal protections available to individuals with royal connections may differ from those available to ordinary citizens, creating potential complications for law enforcement agencies conducting investigations and executing search warrants. Questions arise about how discoveries made during searches of properties owned by royal-connected individuals might affect ongoing diplomatic relationships, and whether such findings could create international incidents or diplomatic complications. The extensive security measures and privacy protections typically employed at properties owned by individuals with royal connections can complicate law enforcement access and require specialized techniques and equipment for effective evidence collection. Social networks and relationship patterns among international high society often involve complex webs of personal, business, and romantic connections that can become relevant to criminal investigations when illegal activities are suspected within these exclusive circles. The media management and public relations challenges associated with criminal investigations involving royal-connected individuals require sophisticated strategies for managing information flow and protecting both legal interests and institutional reputations. Federal prosecutors handling cases involving international figures with royal connections must navigate complex jurisdictional issues, diplomatic protocols, and public interest considerations that extend beyond typical domestic criminal cases. The lifestyle patterns and social activities typical of royal-connected individuals often involve extensive documentation through photographs, correspondence, and social media content that can provide evidence relevant to criminal investigations. Questions arise about how criminal investigations involving members of extended royal families might affect the monarchy's reputation, and whether such cases require special handling or consideration from institutional perspectives. The intersection of American criminal law with British aristocratic traditions creates unique legal and cultural challenges that require careful navigation by law enforcement agencies, legal professionals, and diplomatic officials involved in such cases. International travel patterns and residence arrangements of royal-connected individuals can create jurisdictional complications for criminal investigations and may require coordination between multiple countries' law enforcement and judicial systems. The financial resources and legal representation typically available to individuals with royal connections can create significant advantages in criminal proceedings, potentially affecting both the conduct of investigations and the outcomes of legal cases. Evidence collection and analysis in cases involving royal-connected individuals often requires specialized expertise in international law, financial crimes, and sophisticated privacy structures used by wealthy and influential individuals to protect their personal and business interests. The broader implications of criminal investigations involving royal-connected individuals extend beyond individual cases to affect perceptions of international high society, aristocratic privilege, and the accountability of wealthy and influential individuals under criminal law. If you're as shocked by these international connections as we are, go ahead and like this video. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think individuals with royal connections should be held to different standards? Or should everyone be treated equally under the law? How do you feel about the intersection of international high society and criminal investigations? We want to hear your perspective on how these complex cases should be handled. Then, hit subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss our coverage of these fascinating stories that blur the lines between royalty, wealth, and justice. Thanks for watching.